up this morning, I looked outside my window where children lighting up the Christmas tree and the snow is falling.
Just reading the ingredients in my tea advent. It's German. We've got Brombeerblätter, Apfelminz, Ringelblumen, Kornblumen, Sonnenblumen, Blütenblätter. Like I'm not making that up. Sonnenblumen, Blütenblätter, which is like all one word. And then in English it just says cherry herbal tea. I'm loving the mystery of this. It means sunflower petals. Yeah, Sonnenblumen, sunflower. So petals must be bloom, flower. Leaves. So Blätter is leaves, Blumen is flower. So Brombeer leaves, Apfelminz, I know what apfel is, apple, Ringelblumen, Marigold, Kornblumen, cornflowers, so like the blue, so it's basically, and I mean Brombeerblätter must be the cherry bit, right? Blackberry. That's so interesting because it's translated as cherry herbal tea, but the ingredients are actually blackberry, apple, marigold, cornflower and sunflower. So no cherry at all. That's very interesting. Is it interesting or is it boring? What was I saying about quality over quantity? I'd say that's quite minty rather than floral. Interesting. Not sure about the translation on these tea bags. Good morning, a formal good morning to you. Welcome to episode 2 of Vlogmas 2024. Oh, it's very bright today. It's a stunning morning. Yesterday was so grey. It was in the morning anyway. By the time I'd driven home from my mum's, it was this beautiful sunset. But this morning it's like bright blue sky, clouds, sunshine. Stunning. If anything, it's a little too bright, but I won't shut the curtains because then it makes me all yellow. So hello, welcome back. Hope you enjoyed episode 1. I haven't even edited it yet. So I don't even know what it's like, but hopefully it was good. But I thought I would check in before I sit down to work today because that's first thing on the agenda. It is Monday morning. I need to edit yesterday's vlog and I also need to do a couple of bits of work admin. I need to send out the final copy of the Midland neck to the testers and all their codes for their free copies, free patterns and things and stuff, and answer a couple of emails as well. So it's going to be a worky morning, I think. That's probably going to take me up to about 11, half 11. And then I'm going to go to the food shop because it's a Monday. And then I would really like to get some order in this house. I was barely here this week. Well, I was here all day Saturday, but I was working all day Saturday. I had my pattern release. I had to edit a Patreon video. And so, yeah, normal weekend didn't happen this weekend. And I can just feel the effect that that has had on the house. Like, the house isn't bad. It isn't messy. The living room's tidy. My bedroom's tidy. But the kitchen needs a good, big declutter. And I need to put the hoover around and just kind of bring things back up to at least base level so we can function today. I wouldn't normally be working on a Monday. Monday is normally like life admin day, and then if I've got time I'll do a bit of work, but things are a bit different obviously because it's December. My relationship with work has really transformed this year. It's been one of the main things we've been working on in therapy, and thinking back at past Vlogmases, I don't think I was seeing it as work. Like, weirdly enough, even like the editing, which is probably why I didn't have healthy boundaries and would spend every night editing. But now I'm like, no, this is my job for December, and when I edit, it's okay to use my time in the day, my work time, for editing, because it is work. It really is work. It's a lot of work, but it's some of my most favourite work of the year. I am going to go through with you this morning, before I crack down and work. This is probably me procrastinating, but I'm going to go through my projects that I've currently got on the needles, and there are going to be hopefully lots of cast-ons this December. I've got lots of lovely little projects that I would like to do. I've got a sweater whip of my own, which will hopefully be finished. And yeah, lots of little bits and pieces that I want to do this month. A lot of things that I've been putting off, a little bit of gift knitting, and then of course there'll be my advent knitting as well. And I am raring to cast that on. Really, really excited. But we'll talk about that when I actually get round to casting it on, I think. So, my main sweater whip for now is still my souffle. I cast this on in September, and this was part of my To Me From Me MAL, which is a make along where you prioritise yourself from September to November to make sure you're doing something for yourself during the season where there's a lot of pressure to be gift knitting and doing things for the people. It was a little reminder to take time for yourself this busy season. And that finishes today, actually. It's the 2nd of December and it finishes today. All the prizes are drawn from Instagram and Patreon, so I'll be formally announcing the winners over there, but I'll share them here as well. But if you are a winner, you will be contacted via Instagram. So this is my souffle. This was my first sweater design ever, and the original is a t-shirt with short sleeves. Long sleeves are also included in the pattern, but I just never got around to making a long sleeve one for myself. And this time round I've changed it a little. It has a different neckline, it has a slightly different yoke. I go into detail about this in one of my previous podcasts, so I'm not going to bore you with the details now. But basically the original has like a sheer yoke and an I-cord neckline with a little keyhole at the back, but I've gone for a folded collar and a non-sheer. I just basically wanted to make it a little bit more casual, a little bit more wearable and very festive in the red, and I've used a different yarn. This is the Rowan, I want to say Alpaca Classic, but that might be wrong, and it's like a blown yarn, so it gives the light fluffy vibes of the original souffle but with just a little bit more like thickness to it. So I have done so much of it, to be fair. I've finished one sleeve and I'm getting there on the body. I was working on this yesterday during the F1 because I just needed some stockinette knitting, and even though it doesn't look like a huge amount of body, it's pretty much getting there because I tend to go for a slightly cropped fit anyway. So I would really like to have this done because I would love to wear this on Christmas Day. I've got some sparkly trousers that I got last year and I want to wear again. And I think it would just be so fun. I've also got, I have now learned, a mum's night out. A mum's Christmas drinks. And I feel like that could be really fun to wear to mum's Christmas drinks, maybe with like my black mini skirt or something like that. Although I might get a bit warm because the pub we're going to has an open fire and it's always really, really hot. So we'll think about that. But that's my main sweater whip. I'm working on that on and off. And then I have another little whipsy poo right here. And this is kind of like my travel knitting, my here and there knitting in the car, when I'm waiting for the kids at swimming lessons, that kind of thing. And it is also a gift knit, which is lovely. I am making my dad a scarf, and it's the simplest thing in the world. It's a brioche scarf. You see that gorgeous texture there. It's just got a slip stitch on each end. I can't even remember how many stitches I cast on, but I did like a tubular cast on and then I'll do a tubular bind off. And I'm just knitting in brioche, and it's so nice because I can pick it up, put it down, doesn't matter where I'm at, super simple. The yarn I'm using is the Lamana Como tweed, and this was sent to me by knit.co.uk as a friendship gift. Simona is one of my dear friends. It's not about promotion or anything like that. She just loves to send yarn to her friends sometimes, and that's wonderful. But just in case, add gifted, but not actually. I don't even think this colour is available anymore. She sent it me quite a while ago. She doesn't get much return. I'm not the best influencer in the world. But this is a really beautiful wool because it's really light. I don't know how they do it, but it's known for being like, you get a lot of yardage. This is 25 grams and you get 120 meters. So if you had a normal DK, like 100 grand skein is 200 meters. So for this you would get 480 meters for your 100 grams, but it's still DK weight. It's mad. It's like you get the length of a fingering, but it's the weight of a DK. It boggles my brain every time, but it's wonderful because I've got 6 of these left, which should be more than enough to make a men's scarf. I made my husband a scarf this year and absolutely loved it. It was just stockinette in the round with cashmere, and it was just some of the most pleasurable knitting ever. This will also make great editing knitting because, again, pick up, put down, don't really need to concentrate when I have to sit and listen to myself talk for 20 minutes. So I'm nearly at the end of my first ball, and so what I'm going to do is finish this ball and then steam block it and see how much length I get out of one ball. I'm aiming for between 60 and 70 inches is kind of the general scarf length, but they do also say your scarf should be as tall as you are, and my dad is quite tall, so I might go a bit further. Although he doesn't wear his scarves long, he tends to fold them in half, wrap them around and like pull them through, so it doesn't need to be mega long. I'm also going to make a matching one for his teddy bear. That's right. So I think when I start the next ball, I'll probably do the teddy scarf first, and then I'll just keep going until I run out, basically. So yeah, I've got 6 balls, so if I can get 10 inches out of one ball, then that'll be great. I think I probably will. I'm probably already there, to be honest. And then when I block it, it's probably going to get a bit longer anyway, although brioche does tend to block and stretch widthways, so we will see. We will find out. So yeah, those are my 2 current whips, and then I'll be casting on new things throughout Vlogmas. I also have one other project that I will be working on this month, which I cannot show you because it's for a publication, and that's the bit of work that's kind of trickled into December. My plan was to have no work whatsoever, no releases, no, like, nothing. I mean, I have got my Midland cardigan, which is in testing, but it's a really long test and it's going right to the end of January. I'm not expecting my testers to be slogging away over Christmas. I made that very clear from the beginning. I made the test longer. It's been extended again anyway because there were some issues. But yeah, so that probably won't provide me with much work. We've already found all the issues in the pattern that needed to be fixed, and they've been fixed. So that isn't really going to affect me in December, other than just being present and ready to answer questions. But the publication is big. It's got, I think the first draft of the pattern needs to be ready before Christmas, which is a little scary. I have cast on, I have started, but the design that I'm making has already proved problematic. I've already had to change quite a lot of it to make it work, and I'm really hoping that I've hit the right yarn, gauge, shape combination now. Honestly, it's been a big step for me in my career to even submit to a publication, let alone be chosen. So yeah, I'll be working on that. I have a Zoom call with them on Friday, which I'm terrified of, but also trying to remain confident about, because I'm a big girl, I can do this. I know what I'm doing, it will be fine, but also terrifying. So I will be working on that on and off, but I'm probably going to mainly be I will be working on that off screen. I mean, I don't know, they might let me share it. I guess I'll ask them on Friday if they don't mind me sharing, because I mean, I guess that will be, you know, promo for them. But I know a lot of times publications, everything's kept secret until like the big reveal, which won't be until like the end of next year. So that's exciting for me and my little business. Work-wise, I also have to do tax things, still working through all the stuff for my 2022, 23, 24, yeah, 23, 24 tax year. And because it's the first year that I've earned enough to do it, it's all brand new to me. I have an accountant who's doing it for me, but they still need a lot of information from me and a lot of things that I don't really know about. So yeah, tricky. But yeah, lots going on over here in the world of Laura Penrose Knitwear Designer, which is really exciting. But for now, I am now going to edit. I'm going to bring you along with me all day today. We've got swimming lessons tonight. We've just got, yeah, a lifey day today of just lifey stuff. So I'm going to crack on with my day. Hope you're all having a fab one, and I'll catch up with you in a little while. Oh, one other thing I wanted to mention. I hope you like the new intro. I'm denied about my intro so much because traditionally it's been like a sound clip of my children saying Merry Christmas everybody, but it just didn't feel appropriate this year. I no longer share my kids on the internet, and it just felt a bit weird to have like two little beautiful kid angel voices, and then it not be like a family vlog. So yeah, that felt weird. So I changed it. So I hope you enjoy it. It's like an opening style that I've kind of developed over the past year. It feels more in keeping with the type of vlogging that I do now. It feels a bit more on brand. So I hope you like it, and sorry if you get sick of the music.
What a feeling, now it's time for Christmas. And Christmas is my favorite time of year. It's beginning to look like all my wishes are coming true. That's why I cheer. I've been busy decking the halls. I've been kind to big and small. And now it's time to have a merry holiday. What a feeling when it's time for Christmas. Let's sing a carol and we'll bring it here. I guess that spring and summer, they're all fine. But I've been waiting for the season that's mine. So let it come. Yeah, let it come.
I'm a bit low down. Oh, that's better. It's also this time of the day. I've not had a Ferrero Rocher in years, and they were all like dotted around my advent basket from my sister. Top notch. I've got a very itchy finger. I bought a mini Christmas tree to go on my front step, which I'm afraid I'm not going to show you because I don't want to show the front of my house. But I'm allergic to Christmas trees. And when I get like the pine needles on me, or if they poke me or whatever, then my skin gets very, very itchy. And that has happened in that one spot, and it's still itching like an hour later. So, good afternoon. I'm going to tilt you. There we go, that's a bit better, isn't it? Got my dressing gown. Oh, I don't know how I went so long without a dressing gown. I've not had one for a year or two, and it's just changed my life. Anyway, hello, welcome back. It is the afternoon. I am, for anyone new around here, wearing my Maxine sweater, which, yes, matches the hot water bottle cover. And I do have a mini hot water bottle cover in this colourway to match this jumper, because why wouldn't you? But yeah, that's what I'm wearing today. And for anyone who is curious, if you see knitted things in my videos that happen to be my patterns, I will link them all below in the description box, and all the advents will be linked in the description box and everything below. So if you're trying to find something out, always check there first. If not, just leave me a little comment. I try and keep on top of my comments as much as possible during Vlogmas, so yeah, let me know. Speaking of asking questions as well, I will be doing a Q&A again this year. I have not done a Q&A since last Vlogmas, so it's been a whole entire year. And we have a few more followers since then, so I will be doing an official Q&A. And last year I made a Google form, which I thought was a really nice way to do it because it's completely anonymous. So you can ask me a question without me knowing who you are, so you know. I don't ever promise to answer all of them. If I'm not comfortable, I won't answer them, but I'm an open book pretty much. So ask away if you're curious about me and my life, if you've got knitting questions. Just, yeah, go ahead, and there will be like a festive Q&A at some point during Vlogmas. So I'll link that form below as well, and that will be linked in every video until I do it. I'm currently feeling rather smug, not gonna lie. I did the food shop. I got home, I made myself some lunch. I'd got myself an eggnog latte, and even though I get a small one, they're quite filling. So I just made myself a little lunch because I wasn't starving Marvin hungry, but it was really nice. If you are a, like, what's it called? Ryvita person, like the crisp breads. I personally don't eat Ryvitas because they're just diet foods to me. And so that's a hard no. But if you like that kind of thing, you have to try the Dr. Karg's seeded protein, and even not the protein ones, cracker crisp thins things. They're like raw vita, but way, way better. They're mainly just like seeds, and they're so much better for you. They're like, they've got like loads of like healthy fats and proteins in, and they're just delicious. There's a cheesy one as well. Really, 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 really nice. So I just put some bits on top of that just to keep me going until tea time. And then I sat down and I did my emails. I blooming hate emails. Honestly, I really have to force myself to do them. I absolutely hate them. But my brain did that thing. It was like 2:15 and I was like, well, you know, I've got to pick the kids up in like 45 minutes. So, you know, I probably haven't got time to do that. I'll just leave that till later. I'll just sit and I'll do it another time. I haven't got time right now. But we managed to override that fake news because it doesn't take 45 minutes to answer 3 emails. To be fair, I was also doing everything for my Midland neck testers, and I have to set up quite a few Ravelry codes for them, and that does take a bit of time. But overall, sending out that email, which was really important because these people are waiting for these codes, for downloading patterns, and it's the very, very least I can do for the people who've tested for me. So it was really important that I got that out today, which I did. And then I thought, well, while you're here, Laura, just go through your emails. And I had a couple that I needed to reply to. So I did that, and do you know how long it took? It took 15 minutes. And during that time I listened to a Vlogmas, which was just delightful. So there you go, just a note to you, anyone out there who struggles with constant demand avoidance. You know, you can override it sometimes. My kind of motto at the moment is, if it needs to be done, do it. Easier said than done. I obviously have gone through a lot in the past 2 years and have been learning a lot about myself and changing a lot of things. And one of the things I have found the hardest to learn how to manage as someone who's found out in their late 30s that they've got ADHD and autism is demand avoidance and how much it rules my life. And there are some areas where it's fine, like things like making my bed, keeping my house generally tidy. I'm much better at those things now, but still every day these little things come in, like today with the emails. Oh, don't do it, it will take too long, do it later, put it off. It's just the constant narrative. And I could say, oh, I've got ADHD so I can't do this, or I could say, this is the way it is, but we're still in control of our actions. We're still responsible for what we do and what we don't do. I'm not being puppeted by some like thing I have no control of. Thunderbird. So yeah, today was a good example of that. I can't override it every single time, but the more I practice, the more I can. When I was putting the shopping away, so for so long I've got into a habit of putting the cold stuff away the moment I get home, and then finding a reason not to put the cupboard stuff away. I'll go off and do something different, and I'll wait until it's like the end of the day and do it then. And again, why? If it needs doing, do it. It's not just the big, difficult tasks that I struggle with, it's the teeny weeny ones that take a minute. And then they pile up and become big tasks, and that's it, game over. So you'll probably be hearing the phrase quite a lot through this Vlogmas. If it needs to be done, do it. Like last year, the phrase was like, taking care of future Laura. And it's kind of the same thing, but just on a slightly more like specific level now. So, well done me for doing the job, and hopefully that little chat has inspired you to do the thing you're putting off today. So, what's the time? It's 2:50. I have to go and collect my children from school shortly, and tonight is swimming lessons, which I am not prepared for. I haven't got any bags ready or anything like that, but we have about an hour when we get home from school before we go out to swimming. So I will normally spend that hour doing house admin, doing any leftover tidying up, clearing down the kitchen because I haven't got around to doing the kitchen today. Normally I do that first thing in the morning, but I prioritised editing today, which was fine. So I'll do that tonight, get everything ready, load up their bags, get them some snacks, and yeah, get ready for swimming. It's only our 3rd week of swimming lessons and we're getting a little bit better at it every time. The hardest bit is when they get out of the pool because they're like, I'm so cold, I'm so hungry. It's like hard, especially when I've got 2 of the kids in one small cubicle trying to get them both done at once. And we figured out last week that we need an extra towel That is the key, because they get out, they put their towels around them, and their towels are soaking wet, and then I've not got anything to dry their feet or their hair, so need an extra towel. If you have any swimming lesson mum hacks, please let me know, because my goodness, it's a struggle. I change them straight into their pajamas when we're there and put them in their onesies so they're all good and ready to go, literally go from car to house and then bedtime. I try and make it as easy as possible, but yeah, any hacks would be appreciated. So before I go and get the kiddie winkles and before we lose the light completely, I promised I would show you my advent shawl from last year. This is the first shawl I ever made for myself. I'd made a few for other people before, but this was the first one for me. And as you can see, she's an absolute beauty. I'll just show you this side so you can see the full fade. So this one was again a Fibre Fox, and it was golden hour. So you can see where it went with that. And honestly, this is one of my most favourite knits that I've ever done. I enjoyed every single second of it. It was the perfect project at the perfect time, and I worked on this solidly, and I think I cast it off on my birthday, which is the 3rd of January. So it was 1 month of solid knitting, and it's fingering weight, and it's brioche. Well, half of it is brioche, the rest is garter. And I did change this pattern quite significantly. I changed the fading sequence basically, because the original pattern, which is What the Fade by Andrea Mowry, is like 6 skein, and it's like different side to like two-sided 2-colour brioche. So I did change it, but you can see what the kind of thing we're going to get with the new fade advent. And I have decided, I think, what I'm going to do. And I did mention this in my latest podcast and kind of showed a few that I was considering making. But I have settled on the Breaking Dawn shawl by Annie Uti Knits. I've never made one of her patterns before, and I would consider her a friend, like an online friend. We've never met in real life, but she's tested for me before. We've like been chatting for a long time, and I'm really, really excited to do one of her patterns. And ever since I first saw it, oh, it's not letting me zoom in on it. Ravelry's not happy at the moment. There you go, that'll do. I'm trying to save editing Laura a job here. But this is the shawl. Trying to knock, there you go. So it's not my usual thing. I'm not really a lace knitter. I wouldn't really wear lace, it's not my vibe, but in this context, I really, really like it. And I like that it's different sections of different textures, which I think is going to be such a satisfying knit for an advent. Now, this is fingering weight and says 3.5mm needles. Now, I'm going to go rogue because it wouldn't be me if I wasn't going rogue. I am going to hold my yarn double and go DK weight. And I'm going to go up to like probably a 4.5mm needle, just because I find like superwash merino held double on 4mm needles can give quite a tight fabric, and sometimes that's lovely, but within a shawl it's nice to have a bit of looseness, a little bit of drape. So I'm going to go up to 4.5, follow the pattern as is. I have no idea what size shawl I'm going to get, but it also means that I can work through the yarn a little quicker. And I did briefly speak to Anina about it, and I was like, do you think it would be all right to kind of like, if I've got more yarn than is needed, just repeat sections basically? And she was like, yeah, I totally think that'll work. I'll probably get the hang of the increasing rates throughout, and then just, yeah, add in, just repeat the different sections and then work the border as and when I'm ready to. I'll probably isolate the final skein for the border, though that's hard to tell because at the time I'll have to see roughly how much yarn I'm needing per row, because obviously the bigger the shawl gets, the fewer rows you can get out of one skein. So we will see. It might be the last 2 skeins, I don't know. Oh, time to get the kids. I'm going to cast that on tonight. I think I might treat myself to casting it on today. We will see. I'll be taking my dad's scarf with me to swimming. I'm nearly at the end of my first ball of yarn, so I might quickly work up the last few rows when we get home from school run and block it, and then I can do all my calculations for how much yarn I'll need and everything. But yeah, I'll bring you along for all of that, and then I'll catch up with you again this evening. I feel like this is going to be one day in one vlog. which will be nice because tomorrow is Tuesday, also known as my favourite day of the week, but we'll get on to that tomorrow. Right, I'm gonna go and get my children.
Oh, it's cold outside and I miss you now. You're not here to keep me warm on Christmas Eve. I've been longing, been so lonely, wishing you could hold me now. I've been trying, I'm in denial that
Well, I was hoping for 10 inches per skein and I got 19 inches from my first skein. It's a very light fabric. I probably could have gone down a needle size. I'm on 3.75. I think 3.5 would have been a little better. As you can kind of see, the fabric is somewhat see-through, but I don't think that's really a problem because of the way my dad wears a scarf. So he would fold it in half, bring it round and pull it through. So you'll be doubling up the fabric anyway. And you could also fold it that way and have like a thinner scarf.
What are you doing, Mummy?
What am I doing? What do you think I'm doing?
I don't know.
I'm vlogging, darling.
I don't know what you're doing with the camera.
I'm talking to it.
There's nobody on the camera.
Well, there will be when I edit it and put it on the internet. I'm really pleased with that because that means I'll just be doing 4 skeins and I'll get at least 76 inch scarf just out of 4 skeins, which is epic. Who got star of the day at school today?
Me!
Penny Penrose got star of the day.
Oh, Beanie wasn't
What did you get star of the day for?
trying so hard in math.
Trying hard in maths. I'm so proud of you.
I
Where's that star of the day? Whee! I am a star of the day.
have a certificate for Penny.
What a clever girl.
That's
That's her 3rd one in a term. Honestly, teacher's pet. Oh my goodness, this is just intense, isn't it? I don't really know what to do. Just like there's a time for it to go up, there's also a time for it to calm down. Good evening. Oh, place your bets. How many times am I going to forget to take my earpods out? I just get so used to them. It's just like my routine now. In the evening, they go in and I can just cope with life so much better. I wanted to round this vlog off because I feel like today I've had more than enough footage for an interesting vlog. Yay! Swimming went really well. I thought of a new hack, and that is don't wear long trousers, and also don't forget to take your Crocs / sliders / flip-flops, because I forgot today and I had to take my trainers and socks on and off like 3 times, and that's just not the one. And then last week I wore like long flared leggings and it was just gross. But the kids did really well. It's only their 3rd swimming lesson and they're gaining so much confidence. I'm really glad we did it. We didn't do it for quite a long time because Jeff was very anxious about it and we wanted him to slowly get used to the idea / took him on holiday where he got a lot of confidence because he could just swim at his own pace, at his own leisure, and he kind of finally understood the joy of swimming on that holiday. And also I was definitely holding myself back a little bit because I was nervous about all of it, and it's just a lot to organise, a lot to do. It's something rigid that has to happen every week, and that also doesn't light my fire, but I'm very glad I did it because the kids always have such a good time. It's not that hard and everyone is in such a good mood on the way back. we have a playlist that I've curated of all the kids' favourite songs, and a couple of my favourite songs in there as well that are kid appropriate. And so we also always listen to that playlist on the way there and back, and it's just so nice to hear them singing and for me to sing along too. And it's just nice. It's just a nice thing to do on a Monday evening. Like, why not? But I am absolutely shattered now, so I'm going to round this off here. I'm going to bring you along with me for the evening while I make my tea, all that kind of stuff. I thought that's another nice benefit of not forcing myself to edit every night, is that I can bring you along for the evenings occasionally. Probably not every night, because I do the same thing every night, but you know, you get to see what it's like sometimes. And Mr. Penrose is away for 2 nights this week, so I might do like full evening vlog, full evening routine, because I have got quite a specific routine now because I am a toddler. So with that, I'm going to round this up. I'm first of all going to say thank you for all the lovely comments on the first episode that went up earlier on today. You've all been very, very sweet and kind, and it's lovely to hear how excited you are. Thank you for all the compliments on my hair. It's a bit of a state right now, but I have turned a major curly hair journey corner recently, but I'll go into that in another vlog. We'll do curly hair routine if you feel like it, or when I've got nothing else to talk about. But yes, thank you so much for joining me again. Thank you for all your lovely, kind comments and messages, and I'll see you again tomorrow. It's Tuesday, best day of the week, but I'll leave you on a cliffhanger and I'll see you tomorrow. Good night, everybody. Earphones back in.
The Christmas lights fill the city. There are people everywhere. The snow is falling white and pretty as I stroll on my way to you.
A poop-powered Christmas. This is one of my favourites. But Poop from the reindeer, who flew Santa's sleigh, did not seem to act in the typical way.
Leave this all behind. Go get snow.